Nicola Coughlan, known for her role as Penelope Featherington in Bridgerton, successfully negotiated for toned-down versions of the show's steamy scenes to be made available, citing her Irish Catholic upbringing as a key reason. She is one of many actors who have requested scene changes or cuts for various reasons, from personal comfort to character integrity. Actors like Steve Coogan, Jenna Ortega, and Joseph Fiennes have similarly pushed back against certain moments in their projects, whether to avoid excessive compassion for controversial figures, maintain character consistency, or reject disturbing content. Female actors, including Evangeline Lilly and Euphoria stars, have often fought against unnecessary nudity, while male actors like Penn Badgley and John Krasinski have rejected predatory or unfaithful plotlines. These instances highlight the power actors can wield in shaping their roles, even if they don't always get their way. We grew up Irish Catholic, how Nicola Coughlan got raunchy Bridgerton scenes cut. From Bridgerton to The Sopranos, some actors have insisted on moments being axed, although they do not always get their way. As professional show-offs with A-list ambitions, you might assume that any TV star wants to maximize their screen time. The meatier the role and the more minutes in the limelight, the better. Yet that isn't always the case. Sometimes, actors want their scenes to be cut, either from the script or from the edit. And they can have all sorts of reasons, from personal politics to second thoughts about stripping off. Bridgerton carriage scene. Irish actor Nicola Coughlan's negotiations with Netflix and Shondaland included them producing a family-friendly edit of Bridgerton episodes for the express purpose of showing her mother. Each installment of the Regency romp, in which Coughlan plays Penelope Featherington, is supplied to her in an alternate cut with less sex and nudity. "It's literally written into my contract," says Coughlan. "People think I'm joking, but we grew up Irish Catholic. That's just not how we vibe. You can take the girl out of Galway." The recent Channel 4 docudrama Brian and Maggie, written by Sherwood's James Graham, saw Dame Harriet Walter deliver a nuanced, non-cartoonish portrayal of the, let's say, divisive figure of Margaret Thatcher. The lady wasn't for turning. She was for being left on the cutting room floor, though. In depicting the unconventional bond between the Conservative Prime Minister and Labour MP turned TV journalist Brian Walden, whose infamous 1989 grilling of the PM would trigger her downfall, programme makers put their personal politics aside. The Guardian's Lucy Mangan wrote that we are in a bad way when Thatcher begins to look like the way and the light. For once, The Telegraph agreed, Channel 4 has made a sympathetic drama about Thatcher by mistake. "In the edit, we cut something because I thought it was a bit too kind," Steve Coogan, who played Walden, told Emily Maitlis in the Radio Times. "Of course I had huge antipathy towards Thatcher. I was very anti-Thatcher. I was worried about being too compassionate because at the end, she was definitely a victim of sexism." At a press screening, Coogan clarified that the scene in question was the awkward post-interview drinks. It was a line where Brian said, "She's worth 100 of them." "I thought it was too syrupy for him to say that after stabbing the knife in. Raising a glass to her was sufficient. Best to be more subtle." Coogan has formed for demanding tweaks to his TV biopics. In The Reckoning, the queasy 2023 factual drama about Jimmy Savile, he asked to change a necrophilia scene in a Leeds hospital morgue because he was uncomfortable performing it. "It was as disturbing as it looks," said Coogan. "A certain shot was planned that I didn't want to do. It was just a detail that I was uncomfortable with. I had a conversation with the director, Sandra Goldbacher, and we came to an agreement on the most appropriate way to depict it. Whether it's down to professionalism, power dynamics, or an ego-fueled desire to maximize their screen time, actors asking for their own scenes to be cut is a rare occurrence on TV. The cases we know about, at least. With depressing predictability, instances often involve female actors fending off demands to bear all. Evangeline Lilly, who played Kate in Lost, admitted that she disliked most of the characters' later storylines. She felt Kick-Ass Kate had been reduced to chasing men around the island and felt cornered into partially nude scenes during the 3rd and 4th seasons. In the end, Lilly told execs she would no longer do nudity. Not one but four Euphoria actors, Sydney Sweeney, Chloe Cherry, Martha Kelly and Minka Kelly, asked controversy-baiting creator Sam Levinson to cut unnecessary nude scenes from the script. Allison Williams was the only one of the 4 female leads in HBO's Girls who didn't appear naked, explaining that she didn't want my future children to see that. Male actors tend to push back over sexually predatory plot lines, rather than flesh-flashing. Penn Badgley, star of Netflix Potboiler U, was disgusted after filming a sequence where the anti-hero Joe masturbates outside his lust object's apartment. Badgley said he didn't want to do the scene and has admitted that playing obsessive serial killer Joe takes a mental toll on him. Joseph Fiennes refused to film a scene in The Handmaid's Tale where villainous Commander Fred Waterford rapes his wife Serena, Yvonne Strahovski. As abhorrent and evil as Fred is, I have to defend parts of him because he's still human, said Fiennes, who stood firm with long emails, defending and pushing. He won the argument. The assault was never filmed. Actors also resist certain scenes for character consistency or fear of fan backlash. The breakout moment from Netflix's teen goth phenomenon Wednesday was nearly very different. Moody Ms. Adams' prom dance, which went viral on TikTok, was originally meant to escalate into a flash mob. Actor Jenna Ortega thought a stage musical-style number was jarring and demanded it was changed. Everyone was supposed to pick up on it and start dancing with her, said Ortega. I vetoed it because why would Wednesday be okay with that? She'd knock someone out. Ortega also expressed disappointment that the series put Wednesday in the center of a love triangle with fellow Nevermore students, arguing it made no sense for the character. Wednesday dance scene. In the American version of The Office, John Krasinski wouldn't allow Jim to cheat on wife Pam. The 8th season was supposed to see him kiss the new temp Kathy, Lindsay Broad, on a work trip. Krasinski believed this would alienate viewers, so declined to film it. That's the only time I remember putting my foot down. I remember saying, I'm not going to shoot it. If you push the audience too far and show Jim cheating, they'll never come back. Similarly, Matt LeBlanc initially refused to do the Friends storyline where Joey dated Rachel. NBC showrunner Kevin S. Bright said, Matt was very firmly against it, saying Joey would never steal his buddy Ross' girlfriend. Bright said it took a lot of conversations for LeBlanc to be persuaded. Friends, the one where Ross is fine. A Friends plot twist that didn't get past the cast was Rachel flat-sharing with Central Perk mainstay Gunther, who harbored a puppyish peroxide crush on her. A planned season 6 subplot had Jennifer Aniston's character moving out of Monica's apartment and shacking up with the love-struck barista. Actor James Michael Tyler said, I remember seeing the first draft of the script and thinking, oh man, they're never going to make this work. It didn't read right, even to me. I looked over at Jen and she wasn't convinced either. Producers soon realized it was a bad idea and spiked it. The Sopranos' Dri DiMatteo, aka Mob Mall Adriana, lobbied the show's producers to remove a scene before she got whacked in the woods. It was a scene in which she didn't even appear. In the script, Christopher went to Tony Soprano and told him I was an FBI rat, said DiMatteo. So when Tony calls me and says Silvio will pick me up, the audience know I'm driving towards my death. That bothered me. The walk to her death wasn't going to be suspenseful. It would make it kind of gratuitous. I fought for that phone call to be cut. A few other actors were on board and helped argue my case. They took it out, thank God. They ended up using it as a flashback the following season. More recently, the singer-turned-actor Alexandra Burke asked for a particularly distressing scene to be cut from the Paramount Plus dystopian drama Curfew. Burke said the content was too dark. It was the most challenging role I've ever tackled, but there were some things I didn't think I could do, she said. I spoke to the producer and they agreed to take it out. I was like, thank you, because I'm not sure I could act that. And you've already shot scenes with me, hun, so the contract's done.